Alright, cool. So we got that. Alright, I think I want to add another thing here, which is activate, like auto activate on auto assume on this guy. Alright, so I need to fix the cameras and I need to do the other things. So what's the camera aspect ratio stuff we got right now? I mean, it's on the player proxy, right? So why don't we fix that? And this is just a camera here. And I think that'll do it. So we just want to call this in our tick. We don't have a tick. So get begin play and end play and all that sort of stuff. So set our camera field of view. And we want another boolean here. We want auto activate. Just a gigantic truck just drove by. So I was like, what the hell is that noise? Okay, so on begin play, if auto activate viewpoint true. So that should fix the camera. That should also have it start up. And we're going to want to have the none pick up first. Why is this all pissed? I don't know. IntelliSense is broken. What a surprise. So let's hit play and see what happens. Alright, well, we're going to want to lock our aspect ratio here. So, let's see, what is our aspect ratio that we should lock to? Just 2 and 1? Alright, works for me. So this in our globals. Alright, so that's good there. And we're going to want to set none to be the starting. I think I want to throw none inside of a box or something else so we can't see anything. And we'll have to recompile all the things because we changed our globals. So, just simple stuff. It's interesting just how badly the, the foliage affects performance. It's just always, ugh. Okay, so where is none? Right, none is right here. Since we don't have any more transition stuff, I'll just throw this off into the void, and I need a box. Let's just make this a black thing. The simplest of shaders. It's going to be unlit, opaque, and we're just going to make it where is the damn color? It's just that. Alright. Alright, looks like our aspect ratio stuff's working properly. Boom! Grass out of nowhere. Excellent. So the next thing is to go to this VP none and use auto activate true. And let's make sure that it actually activates. And the way to do that is for us to go to our screen for our splash and change what it does. Let's turn off our splash background. Alright. I am seeing seams and stuff like that along these mountains, but that's not my problem. Well, I'm just going to make sure I got everything saved. And then what I want to do is I want to make sure that all this stuff works in a shipping build. So let's go ahead and make that shipping build. Well, basically, to make a new viewpoint, what you have to do is make a new viewpoint. The big thing that matters is if you duplicate a viewpoint, probably the easiest way to create one is just to copy paste one of these guys, and it'll have a camera on it, and that camera is what you're going to be viewing. And what matters is this viewpoint drop down here. So there's none and then 1 through 9, and that matches up to what your screen is going to be using. That's how they are connected. In our global JavaScript, we have what screen, what viewpoint we will be seeing for which screen. So right now I've got, viewpoint 1 is the main menu, all the settings are viewpoint 2, all the multiplayer viewpoint 3, and then credits is viewpoint 4. So probably you don't actually need to make any new viewpoints. Probably the only thing you actually want to do is just position the ones that already exist, unless you've got some more special ideas, or you want to go make a whole bunch of them. But basically, if you want to just make a bunch of them but not use them, make them all undefined or whatever. And I think all the defaults here are what you want. Maybe use transition, just click that off. And then to edit them, basically, so if I activate an editor, it will change the time of day to the time of day that thing will have. And fetch time of day will take the current time of day and put it in here. So if you screw around with the sky sphere and change the time of day to something else, like that, then all you have to do is go to this guy and do fetch time of day, and it'll update its time of day properly there, so that you don't have to worry too much about it. And kind of the way I think is the easiest way is to just look at this kind of preview and then move this guy around. And that seems to be an easy way to do it. Other than that, some important notes are you always want to be facing in that direction towards the sun. Otherwise, the sky is going to look like that, which is not that good. So, and I probably keep, the biggest issue there was that just lots of this grass is no good. So just be careful with the amount of foliage, and you don't have to make the area super huge. Even just one nice lake area with some reverse shots or whatever, that's probably good enough for most everything here. So and if you want to do different post-processing effects, just put a bounding volume around the camera and it should work. And if you edit the camera on itself, I don't know if you actually can. Yeah, it looks like you can't actually edit the camera here. But that would be something I probably can expose. Yeah, why don't I just go ahead and expose that? Yeah, and there's some other things that I had here that I haven't implemented, which are tags for things to enable or disable. based on the viewport that's active. So that'll be the next thing. Let's see what that looks like and see what we can do with the camera. Because it's going to assume that camera, the viewport, will look through it, so should be able to customize everything except for that aspect ratio. So changing things like the field of view or any of the camera settings. Maybe something that works. So let's see, if we click on this camera, we can change all these things. So yeah, we can actually change the field of view if we wanted. Let's boot it up and make sure it actually did what we thought it did. Yeah, it looks like it did. And the other thing is you can edit a whole lot of this stuff live, so you can kind of have the game running and screw around with the camera and move it around or whatever. Let's see, what else can we mess with? Yeah, you can screw with everything. Turn the contrast to 0. We're in full HD mode. Everything's gray. Image effects. We can do all sorts of crazy bullshit. Convolved bloom, yeah, it works. You can add stupid ass lens flares. It looks so bad. Oh man, yeah, depth of field might be a good thing to screw around with. Alright, so there's definitely stuff that could be done to have fun with the cameras. So that's cool. Alright, so what do we got next? The actors active or inactive based on tags. So let's get something in here. So let's see, canyon. God, now there's all these fucking options here. Alright, so where is... Yeah, so actors to enable and actors to disable. Let's just put canyon. Let's add an actor in here. Alright, so if we have actors that are hidden in game, and then we hit them so what we want to do is get actors with tag. so if we go through all these actors to enable, and then we'll go through the same thing for disable actors with tag. True. So let's save this, and we should be able to see our mushroom disappear. Yeah, the lens flare probably would only look good if there was an actual movement on the sky or something, or movement on the camera. Could move the camera as if it's a Dashkin looking. Just like looks around, blinks, shit like that. Slow, heavy breathing. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so when we hit play, this guy should actually be enabled when we go to the water area. Excellent, so it works. Well, let's get rid of it because it's stupid. Excellent, okay. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw some fat sack spawning on the water and make sure that that still works too. So let's go to the Pebble Cave and see what the hell I did with it. Alright, so it's in there. So it's in test content water. And the key to activate it is the inner key. Let's change that to something else. Let's change that to the E key. Think I'll stream any Kingdom Come? I don't know. I think I'm too far in the game to do that. There we go. We've got our dynamic ripples. These stupid fucking fat sacks. This guy is just falling in midair. He's just gonna go to infinity, isn't he? Ah, he made it. He made it through infinity and beyond. Drop leaves or something into the water. Yeah, exactly. You can see him in the background, just all stuck up there. Can you eject? What was that? Eject? Whoops. I fucked everything up. So if I actually put... Oh, okay. This will be interesting to see if I can even get this to work. Alright, so this thing ends right here. Well, and that begins there. We need these to overlap for this to work properly. How far can we move this? Well, that's the planar reflection that I'm selecting. I need to select the water. Oh, the water totally goes far enough over there. And this one almost does. Let's see if I can get this landscape to actually do what I want. Well, I think with that change, the fat sacks will actually flow off into the woods. They'll end up going from one pool of water to the other. So let's regenerate these things. This might take a second. Yeah, I definitely think something like that would be pretty cool. It would also be nice to kind of show off some of the water stuff. But I'm just making sure that the water stuff still works like I expect it to. Just because. Anyway, this is just chugging along, doing its thing. Alright, there we go. This will have to do the same thing as well. It's building textures. All right. I can see them starting to come up. They're over there. Am I gonna make it off the waterfall though? Can they make it? Can they do it? Are they gonna do it? Come on, fat sack, you can do it. You can fly. I don't think they're gonna make it. They look like they're stuck. Yeah, they're stuck. What are they stuck on? How come I can't see the things? It's kind of a pain in the ass messing with all this stuff, isn't it? I think it's just that the fat sacks got stuck because waterfall's not wide enough. Like you can see the particles are getting all stuck over here. But I think that should fix it if I have a bigger zone. Alright, well let's regenerate and see what it looks like. Alright, well, let's see what it looks like. And what I want to do is I also want to change the speed on these dudes a little bit, make them faster. So saving can take a little while with these water things the first time. I think when you edit them, it has to think about it a little bit. Spawn radius, blah, blah, blah. Alright, what's our tick look like? Tick, key down, activate, and it's going to create a test floater. So test floater is a whole ball of crap. Move on water. Get direction and speed. Let's just have a speed modifier. Float. So let's make it 2500. Alright, see what it looks like.